Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set. Watch him throw the ball. Man. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep your cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Dive Podcast. I am your host of the Trap or Dive Podcast, Mual and Dre is in the building, the virtual building. AJ is sick. So AJ, man, hope you feel better, bro. We talked about this last show, so handle your business. Was it either last show or through text? Either way, I brought it to the show. My apologies. Feel better, brother. If you're on the YouTube side of things, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate y'all checking in. If you're on the Twitch side, however which way you are watching live, man, appreciate you. Welcome in to the show. Audio side, man, hit the button. Hit us with a rating review if you can. It takes 10 seconds to do so, and it's free to show you support that way. Administrative items are done. We were expecting a guest this week. Things didn't go out as planned, but now that I think about it, next week is Christmas, so we probably gonna have to spend the block in the new year. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Dre, what's going on with you, player? How you feeling?
Good, bruh. I was feeling a little under the weather earlier, but I got through it, got some much needed rest. But I was just telling you, I logged on to Twitter today for the first time. And Jamal, man, congrats, bro. I didn't know you had 15 years of service in the government, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. I was telling that story back then when I joined. So I got in, for those who don't know, I got in my senior year of high school. And I never forget, like it's like it was such like a quick turnaround because I for those who do know, like I got Crohn's disease, so I've been dealing with that for like 3 or 4 years, like from middle school to high school or through high school. Got diagnosed in high school, so I didn't play any sports in high school. So I'm like 12th grade, bro, I finally felt good enough to play sports. So I'm like, I'm about to try out for the football team. That's how that was easy. Like I knew I was gonna make the team. Nigga, I go out there on the trial, start cooking. Like for those who see me play flag football now, I'm not like the slow individual that you may see. Slow, I put slow in quotation. I'm not the slow individual that you may see on the field now. I was way different back then. That's a long time ago, though, right? So I was way different.
Cornerback, wide receiver, more.
Play wide receiver. Okay. Well, to be honest with you, I played wide receiver. I played defensive end. I played linebacker. I played running back. I played all of that.
In 12th grade, you played DN.
No. I'm sorry, but no. That's remember I was sick for the first couple years of high school. Okay. So when I was getting in 12th grade, my experience ranged from all of those positions. I played all.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I could have, but I tried out at receiver. To answer your question, I tried out at receiver, cooking. Ain't even had cleats, bro. I was out there bitch in Jordans, cooking shit, So then I asked one of my men. Matter of fact, Nick on the All-32 show, I asked him, bro, can I borrow some cleats, bro? For the next practice, I don't have any cleats. Like I ain't got shit. I ain't played in 3-4 years. I got new shoes, bro. I didn't grew a little bit, man. I need some cleats. He said, I got you, bro. Never bought the cleats to practice. Never bought the cleats to school for me. And then at that point, started looking for jobs. And I wanted to get jobs on my own merit. My mom worked in the government. She's like, yo, I could get you plugged in right now. I was like, no, ma, I want my own job. Like, I want to get my own shit, bro. I applied at Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, got interviews at both. Popeyes said they're going to look out for me, right? Just come back in like a couple days. Nigga, I did that shit for 2 weeks. They kept spending me, bro. I'm like, bro, ain't no way in hell y'all spending me at Popeyes, bro. And I reluctantly went to Department of Justice. My mom plugged me in, like she said. I had like a 20-second interview on the phone, bro. She said, "All right, that's enough. You're hired."
Wow.
Nigga, shit, my for legal purposes or whatever. Even though all that time passed, my mom didn't interview me. I wasn't in her office, but her friends who worked in the building they worked in different departments. I interviewed with their office. Said, "All right, you're hired." Nigga, I'm so glad I went to the government.
Yes, hey,
it
choice I ever made.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So shout out to all the Fed workers. Dre, I know me and you, we've been locked in since we known each other, knowing about our background for real.
I'm on year 9. I'll be on year 10 next year. I was a contractor.
That's crazy.
So I worked my way in.
It's crazy because I think we known each other. You said 9 years, so that's right around the time we started to know each other online because we met each other talking shit about Kirk Cousins. You was
Yep. You was young as a mug, though, Mo. I remember you following me when you were young as a mug. I was like, okay, then we started connecting and talking.
Yeah. It all started with that Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, because I hated him.
Yeah, I know. I like that game where he threw the 2 picks in the Giants 2016 John. We was battling about that shit. And I was so adamant. I was like, bro, there's no way that you can blame Kirk for the pick where Cuz slipped. And he was like, nigga, he should have thrown it. I'm like, are you serious?
You still remember that?
I'm over here losing my shit. Like people that I fuck with, bro. I remember conversations. I was like, bro, I can't believe this nigga. And he was like, no, he should have thrown it. He's sorry.
No, I was doing him like they did RG3 because I was an RG3 fan at the time. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna do him like they did him.
Yeah, I feel it, bro. It was definitely toxic back there. Back then with the QB battles. Monty said I was out there like Nelly in the longest. I swear to God.
You know, I never seen that movie.
God,
That's
bro.
crazy.
You still ain't seen that?
I never seen The Longest Yard, bro.
Bro, on everything. Get you a whenever you feel like cooling it for a night, get you your yak, order pizza. You're gonna be entertained. I swear you're gonna be entertained. It's like if you've never seen it. Yeah, if you've never seen it, bro, you're gonna have like 90 minutes of good entertainment, bro, and comedy, bro.
Check it out. I gotta look at it.
Right
now, I'm still on my itch joint. I just finished watching the movie, so I can connect things with the show. So I'm on the whole Welcome to Derry joint.
Did you know that Shawshank Redemption was in the universe? I
did not know that. That's crazy.
I'm gonna send you what I'm gonna send you what I got. Hold on. Hey, I found out today from some people that we follow.
It's crazy, bro, because about a couple years ago, I got on a Stephen King kick. So I'm like, I got all of Stephen King's books or whatever. I haven't even made it through a quarter of them yet. Like I'm on like his 5th book. So I gotta get to the It books too.
Yeah. I just sent it to the chat. So that's the universe for Welcome to Derry.
Okay.
Nell, what's up? He said I got in from a stay in school position. Yep, Pathways program, bro. That's kind of what my position converted into. When I got in there, it wasn't called Pathways at first, but then it transitioned when I went to college. 22 years, man. Congratulations, bro. That's a big deal.
Yes,
so let's get into the show, bro. Obviously brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, promo code SHOP@DIE. First $5, $75 bonus funds when you play your first $5. Damn, I'm getting good at that. The Commanders play the Philadelphia Eagles Saturday, just in a couple of days, Dre. And here's where I'm at, bro. I know you don't care what they do in terms of like wins or losses for the rest of the season. You actually prefer them to lose. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I stand by this. I may have like told some white lies on this show before related to the rest of this season and said that I know that we're gonna get one. I don't know if we're gonna get one. I'm more so trying to speak it into existence because I sure as shit do not want to get swept by the Philadelphia Eagles, and it has a lot to do with their fan base. Like I really do. I want one so bad, and I want both those games to count, to matter for Philly. I want both of them to matter so we can beat them. I don't know how you feel, and I don't know how the chat feels about beating Philadelphia, but I want to beat Philadelphia badly. I'm not lying to you. I want Terry to cook. I want somebody to go off in the run game. I need a couple turnovers defensively. I want AJ Brown to look like the first few weeks of the season, first couple months of the season, like I need this. I need this, bro. I need this.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Now I'm not like full on the tank thing as I was 2 years ago when I wanted to tank for the quarterback position. Now, granted, I mean, I prefer to lose these games to get better draft position, but I think it would mean more to me if Jaden Daniels was playing. Like, you know, even if the record was the same, we still have no hope for the playoffs. If Jaden Daniels was playing, then my attitude will be a lot different because I don't like the way they talk about Jaden Daniels. I don't like the way they hate on Jaden Daniels, and they've hated on him since, you know, he's been doing what he did last year. They were even hating on him today for his birthday. And by the way, shout out, happy birthday to Jaden Daniels today. But, you know, they get on his age and everything. So if he was playing, I would definitely be rooting for those wins because I would love to see Jaden Daniels go out there and do his thing, beat them and show them, even though we're not playing for nothing, we're not playing for the playoffs, but show them I'm still here. Like, I'm still a threat. And next year, y'all gonna have to see about me again. So that will be the only way that my emotions will be like super invested in this game as far as beating Philly. But as of now, I still want them to be competitive. Like, I don't want them to go out there and get blown out. Like, I want a good game. Like, I want, you know, Mariota to play well. I want to see Bill play well. The chat mentioned Drake Jackson. I want to see Drake Jackson show that he has any kind of juice. You know, he's a former second-round pick. I want to see, like you said, Terry do well. I want to see all the young players do well. And anybody who's going to be affiliated with this organization going forward, anybody who's going to prove that they could be a core guy going forward, I want to see those guys have good games. Now, if their results didn't win, I'm not going to be mad because, again, it's not like I said, we're tanking for some, you know, high level quarterback or whatever. And to be quite frank, I don't even think the talent level is like really great in this upcoming draft class to kind of matter from where you're picking, whether it's 5 to 10 or whatever. I think there's a small gap in talent. Like, you're probably getting the same type of player within those positions. The only reason I'm kind of high on getting a higher pick is because I think the higher the pick, the possibility of a trade down becomes a little bit better and you can accumulate more picks. But other than that, no, I'm not going to be upset with a win. Again, yeah, I do want, you know, as high a draft position as I can get. But no, I want to see anybody who's going to be affiliated with this organization going forward, anybody who's going to be a core guy, I want to see those guys go out there and play well. And if that means beating Philadelphia, so be it.
Yeah, bro. I see the Moneyball comment about Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson has essentially been cut from San Francisco. He was a 2023 first-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Cut from San Francisco. He messed his knee up, I think, last year, I believe, and essentially hasn't played football since, like on the field and in real time since. So he's off of IR, he's active, and he's cleared to play ball. So we'll see some semblance of Drake Jackson, the former first-round pick. And when I say semblance, I'm more so leaning to the fact that we just don't know how much time he'll get. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And to your point, man, I think like what matters these last 3 games is always about like who can you keep moving forward. There's plenty of people that's on like either the last year of their contract or clearly on 1-year deals, right? And you're gonna have to figure out, because half of your roster is essentially is about to be free agents or eligible for free agency, right? You're gonna have to figure out like who are some guys that you can keep around for another year or two, who can help fill out that roster for you. I'm in this point where like I don't like defensive. I don't know who defensively you can really hang your hat on. I will say one thing. How many times and I'm not giving credit and I'm not like absolving, right? But since Will Harris has been back, like how many times have you really called Quan Martin's name out? I mean, I'm really asking. Like, have you thought about Quan Martin in terms of like his ability or inability since Will Harris has been back? He's a big name when he wasn't. And like I said, I'm not absolving or anything, but I think that's something even from a field standpoint to look at these last few games is to pay attention to how the relationship between Quan and Will has been. Does that mean you don't need a safety in free agency or draft?
Yeah.
Nope. You can still get you a safety. Like what can that secondary look like if you get an even better safety, a better quality safety, whether it's playing strong or post, right? In the box or post. Figure that out. Like Sanders he continues to play outside, and I think that's a good deal for him. I think he's solidifying his resume. Solidifying his best fit for the team. And granted, I still stand by like how the next defensive coordinator should utilize him. But in terms of like starting alignment, I think he's shown that he can be an outside corner. And he should be an outside corner, right? That's where he just seems more comfortable as a pro. But like, what does it look like going up against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? That's gonna be a big deal. You get another chance against the Dallas Cowboys next week. And the first time you played him, you was in the slot. So now you get another chance. You play him outside. How does it look like going up against CD and George and your assignments? So like he's solidifying his resume or his best fit for the team. And I think it's important for the team to not ignore that. So it's like you either want him outside or you shouldn't play him at all. And I'm not saying the option, that's an extreme option, but I'm just getting at like the fact that you ought to know where his best fit is. So if you don't appreciate him in terms of like what you want out of an outside corner, you know the problems that comes with him playing in the slot. Defensive line, bro. What do we like? I don't know. I'm going down the line. I don't see Daron Payne. Honestly, I don't see Daron Payne coming back. You would want to see more out of Johnny Newton, but it's like, bro, like I don't see Johnny Newton getting any better in the last 3 games or stepping up in the last 3 games. I think we're in a position where it's like, you got 2 years left. This better be your best offseason as a pro so far.
Yeah, because right now, Johnny Newton looks like a rotational guy. You can't say he looks like a potential starter going forward. And I don't, like you said, I don't know what he can show in these next 3 games that can show you or give you confidence that he's a starter. And on this subject, we talking about the defense. I was sitting there thinking about this because someone asked me this the other day. They said, how many starters do you carry over from this defense going into next year? And I was like, damn. It's a good question because, like you said, you go through the defensive line. Kinlaw is probably the one that's kind of staple right there, right? I think Armstrong's still in the contract next year. I mean, if he comes, but
yeah,
who knows
that's his last year too, though. Which is unfortunate because he tore his ACL.
Right, because who knows how he comes back off injury? That's never anything you can predict to say he's going to come back and be that same player. I mean, injuries hit everyone different, but I mean, so. That's a possible. We talk about playing spades. When you talk about playing spades, you got 2 in a possible. So right now you got 1 in a possible when you talk about Kinlaw and Armstrong on the defensive line. So you may need 2 starters there. I mean, you definitely need an edge rusher, some kind of impact edge rusher. I mean, even if he's not an impact, he needs to be better than what you have right now. Like I said, you can't pencil Johnny Newton in, so you look like you might need an interior guy because I'm with you. I don't see Daron Payne coming back because I do believe he has a huge cap hit going into next season. And then you got to worry about him being a free agent after that. So then you talk about linebackers. Bobby Wagner, I mean, he's probably retiring after this year, right?
Yeah. I know they're not going to take Bobby out, so I'm over that.
Yeah,
I'm even surprised that McGee lost snaps last week. Like I'm super surprised.
He was a captain.
So, yeah, I'm over it, bro. And it's weird. I don't agree with it, but I'm over it.
Right. But like I said, with that said, I mean, he's most likely not going to be here next year. He's going to be a year older, and this is probably his worst season as far as getting exposed in coverage this year. I guess Louvu comes back as a starter. I mean, but again, what do they see McGee as next year? Because my biggest issue is we haven't seen McGee enough snaps to say he's a Bobby replacement or he's a Frankie Louvu type of replacement, whatever. So you're going to need to start at linebacker, and then you go back to the secondary as you were just discussing. Mikey, I guess he looks like he could play outside. I think Trey Amos can hold down the outside spot, but I don't think you bring a Marshawn Lattimore back next year. I don't think he's coming back next year. Yeah,
unless AP trying to get
especially off
fired.
the injury. Yeah, especially off the injury. And I do still think you need a safety. Like, I mean, yeah, Quan Martin, sure, he's played a little bit better, you know, with when Will Harris is out there, but is it above replacement level? Like, that's the question.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's playing like just a guy at this point. He's playing like, I don't see impact safety. And I actually said that before the season with Quan Martin. I was like, this is like, I understand he's been, you know, solid. Like, they thought of him as a solid player last year. But my biggest question or concern going into the season was, can Quan Martin make that leap to be an impact safety on a consistent basis? And he played bad for most of the season. Now we're talking about him as just, okay, it's better that we're not hearing his name as much. So, like, again, that's not, you know, to me, that's not better than a replacement level player. So I do think you need another starter there. So you're looking at possibly having a turnover of 5 to 6, maybe 7 starters on defense this year. So it's going to be a big task for them. But again, you do want to see, for me, like I said, I wish Jordan McGee can get more snaps, because I do feel like he can probably give you an answer, maybe at one of those linebacker positions. Like, yeah, he can be here going forward. But until he's playing more than his 40 or 30% snaps, whatever he plays right now, it's hard to say what he can be as far as a starter in this league.
I'm with you, bro. Let's take our ad break from Underdog Fantasy. When we come back, let's kind of dive into the offensive side. And then like talk about Philly for a little bit before we get into our over-unders. So let me tell y'all, good people over here on Tribe or Dive, about Underdog Fantasy. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Oh wow, I got the wrong script up, but we're gonna run this anyway because we some dogs. Get your picks right, and you win up to 5,000 times your cash. So this week on Underdog, let me tell you what I got. Right. Oh Lord, we're gonna do Sunday night. Sunday night is, who is that? That is New England, Baltimore. That's gonna be lovely. New England and Baltimore. We're gonna go Travion Henderson higher than 56.5 rushing yards. We're gonna go Drake May higher than 238.5 passing yards. I'll tell you right now, Drake May been cooking this year. I don't even remember the last time he had under 230. We're gonna go. I like the tight ends. I like both tight ends. We're gonna go Isaiah Likely higher on 2.5 receptions. We're gonna go Mark Andrews higher 31.5 receiving yards. Trust me, them tight ends gonna cook. I like Derrick Henry. I think he may go off, but I'm not too certain, Brett, because his numbers, man. These defenses been locking in on Derrick, and he told it against Cincinnati, and it worked out for him for obvious reasons. That defense in Cincinnati just ain't good enough. But I'm gonna leave him alone this week. Download the app today and use promo code TRAPPERDIVE to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That is promo code TRAPPERDIVE. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
All right, hey, Tunsil's out. I think this is a good opportunity for a guy like Brandon Coleman too. I think his future is going to stay at guard, especially if Tunsil's still around. But I think what helps him is having that utility type of background now. Like, you can play inside and out. And I think that really helps him in the long run. But like, his 2 spot duties that he had filling in for Laramie, he looked solid. So I don't know what to make of that, like, for a long-term thing, especially if he has a full game of reps, and, you know, again, he comes out really clean. That's not to say like, what do you do with Laramie? You re-sign Laramie, but it's like, do you use Brandon Coleman as a future like move piece, or do you like use him as trade bait? Like, I don't know. Anyway, point being, this game is super valuable for Brandon Coleman in absence of Laramie Tunsil, who's out with like I think they said oblique injury or something like that.
Well, you know what's interesting, Mo, something we haven't really talked about much. I mean, I guess because his name isn't a big subject, but Chris Paul's a free agent after this season, and I think he's played pretty solid. I thought he played a lot better earlier in the season, but even still, you haven't heard his name in a bad way in a lot of games this season. So the real question is, what are you going to do as a team with Chris Paul? Do you re-sign Chris Paul? And if not, do you feel comfortable enough letting Chris Paul walk and saying, yeah, well, Brandon Coleman's showing me something. We can move him into guard, and we feel good with him as a starter. But I think either way, it's encouraging what Brandon Coleman has been showing, as far as when he comes in, he's filling in pretty well, because early in the season, it was rough for Brandon Coleman, especially at guard. Like it wasn't a good look for him. But I think, him sitting back, watching the game a lot more, and he came back in and he played with confidence when they have had to put him in the game. So he's going to play these last 3 weeks out at left tackle for Tunsil, which I thought was a good move to shut him down.
Wait, he's done for the season?
Oh, the way Moneyball explained it, mind you, because I haven't seen any press conferences today. When he said shutting down, I assume that means for the season. So
I'm out of double check that, because I was actually listening to his pressure like an hour ago. Yeah, and I didn't get nothing popped up in my head that said that he was done for the season. He did acknowledge that he wasn't playing this week.
Yeah. So I mean,
go ahead.
That'll be a thing too. I mean, if he's just not playing this week, it'll kind of remind me of the Jaden situation. Like, what does he need to play for the next couple of weeks for? Like, did you find it?
So he said try to give it a go at practice yesterday and just not there yet. So hopefully we get him back for the following game, just not for this one.
So he's not shut down for the season, just for this game. All right. I mean, but either way, I'm fine if they do want to shut Tunsil down for the season. We don't need to see any more of Tunsil, and I think he's earned every dollar of a contract extension that he should get. Like, he's proven that he's one of the elite tackles. But either way, this is an opportunity for Brandon Coleman to show some more, especially in a full game, because for the most part, since he got benched after the Packers game, he's just been coming in relief. And he's shown a lot in relief. Now, what is he going to do as a starter? And that Eagles defense, I mean, they still got some guys that can get after you. So, this is a good test for him. Like, this is a really good test for him to show that, hey, man, I am a reliable piece on this offensive line, especially, like I said, if you're not going to plan on re-signing a Chris Paul, Brandon Coleman should be first in line again to kind of, step into that place, at least as a starter. So, yeah, that's one of the things I'm actually interested in looking at, as a Brandon Coleman, how he performs, at least in this Eagles game. Again, I don't know if he's going to play for the rest of the season, but this is a good game to see if he can go out there and show, hey, man, I am approved and I am ready for more if you all are ready to give me more.
So, Philadelphia, bro, what's your thoughts on how their season has been, bro? Like, not even just how, as it relates to Washington, but just like I see a team that, I mean, I have a lot of respect for, because they continue to find games to win. Their defense is keeping them in a lot of these games, so they clearly know how to win. But I don't see Super Bowl, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see Super Bowl. And given that, like, they're probably going to have to get on the road, if it's not a couple times in the playoffs, at least once, and that one time will be maybe in the conference championship if they make it that far. I don't know about the second week, but because how it's shaping up, it looks like they may be like the third seed. I don't know. Anyway, how do you feel about like Philly, Brad? Like, this is not the best season for their offense. Even Saquon, like, I don't think from a ability standpoint he's diminished, but like, it's just everything just isn't there no more, and it's making things harder on him. In turn, making things harder on Jalen. Excuse me.
This actually reminds me of their 2023 season. Remember, they started out hot in their 2023 season, and then everything kind of collapsed. And that was when Brian Johnson was the coordinator, who obviously is now with Washington now. But they have an offensive coordinator that no one likes up there, Kevin Patullo. Like, they can't stand this guy. The Philly fans want to fire this guy as soon as
Egg the man crib.
Yes, I mean, I've never seen. Well, it doesn't surprise me because Philly fans are just rabid and crazy. So you know what I'm saying? Like that. That's just them. But either way, no. I mean, you could just see it for me last year when they had their best success. Obviously, their defense was rolling. They lost a couple of pieces on that defense that I don't think people talked about enough. Like, you know, on that defensive line, like Milton Williams, a couple of other guys that were really important on that defense. But I mean, he still had like a Jalen Carter, you know, a couple pieces. Oh, that's right. Darius Slay was there last year. He's not there anymore. But they still have a solid defense this year. But the big thing is they don't have Saquon Barkley running for 2,000 yards this year. Like, and I think that made life a lot easier for Jalen Hurts last year. Like, even though you didn't have to ask Jalen Hurts to go out there and be Superman every game, life was easier when he did have to go out there and make a play because you still had the threat of Saquon Barkley. But Saquon Barkley hasn't been that threat this year. It's been a lot more put on a Jalen Hurts this year. You've seen the chemistry issues with him and the wide receivers, especially A.J. Brown, and they just don't seem like they've gotten it right. Like once things started falling off of them, they don't seem like they found a way to kind of get it back on. Now, I know they went out and blew the Raiders out last week, but that's a really bad team. And you also probably aren't going to find any answers this week playing Washington. Even if you go out and beat a Washington, everybody's going to say Washington's just a bad team. They struggled all year on defense. So what does that really mean for this team? And I don't see them as that Super Bowl team this year. I don't think they're one of the best two teams in the conference this year. I think that title goes to the Seahawks and the Rams. So, yeah, I mean, I just think that they're going to have to find a way, you know, maybe the offensive coordinator is an issue with them. Maybe they have to do something differently there. Maybe they have to find a way to get Saquon going again. They also lost pieces on that offensive line from last year. So, yeah, they're not the same team. I don't see Super Bowl for them this year. And like I said, it just reminds me of that 2023 season for them.
Monty said, crash and burn. Moneyball thinks A.J. Brown fell off low-key. Fuad, appreciate you, big dog. On the work milestone comment acknowledgement. Honestly, bro, I think when it comes to the game, this is probably more of a. I'm not saying it will be. I think if it came down to the two, like another like multi-score loss or a competitive game, I think this is more of a shootout than it is a blowout. I think that's if it came down to those two thought processes. I think that Washington doesn't really have the horsepower defensively to like stop Philly on most of their possessions. I understand the state of Washington's defense, right? Even though I do think that offense altogether just isn't really in sync. I just know where Washington is at defensively. But I also think that teams with competent, efficient offenses are able to keep themselves in games against Philly. And like I said this week, I think it was this week, I think that Washington is in better hands for the I did say this because Moneyball thought I was sneak dissing Jaden. I think that Washington is in better hands with Mariota the rest of the season than with Jaden. I just think like the chemistry that he's been able to build because of the amount of time he's had to put in with actually most of the starters and the people who's been getting a lot of playing time. I just think that he fits well and he's fully healthy. He fits well with Washington right now. So I think that this is going to be an offense that's going to be able to keep up at the very least and put some points on the board. And I just don't know where that takes them, but I do think like the product is going to look competitive. So I'm interested in seeing where things go, bro.
Yeah, and you're not far off with the Mariota being a better option as it pertains to the rest of the season. And for me, that goes back to what I've been kind of talking about. Mariota's actually had more consistency as far as playing in consecutive games than Jaden Daniels has. So he's able to build that chemistry, you know, even with the Terrys and the Noah. Well, I'm sorry, I don't even know why I even mentioned his name, but Debo Samuel and Treylon Burks to an extent. Mariota's able to build that chemistry with those guys. Like Jaden only played 2 full games or 2 or 3 full games with Terry all season. Yeah, I mean, Terry, and Treylon Burks he came in mid-season, so you didn't get to build any kind of rapport with him. But Jaden was, every time he came in, it was like he went right back out. Whereas Mariota, he's been kind of the consistent starter this season. So it's kind of not a surprise that he has been the better option for the offense all season, because he's able to get those reps. He's not in and out of the lineup with injury. He just waited for Jaden to go down, and he comes right back in, and he's kind of ready to go back out there again, because this is what he's been doing all season. He's been preparing more as a starter this season. So that doesn't surprise me. And I do think that Mariota-led offense can give a good defense problems. And like you said, the Eagles, they struggle with those teams that they have a competent offense. And, Washington, for as much hell as we give their offense, they went out there and gave a Denver defense hell. They almost beat Denver, and they went to overtime. It came down to a 2-point conversion. And Denver is probably a better defense than Philadelphia this year. So Mariota can keep them in this game this week. It's going to be a matter of, can Washington's defense stop Philly's offense? Because when I look at a Washington defense go out there and let J.J. McCarthy kind of carve them up, I feel like the Eagles offense can go out there and kind of find their way or get their rhythm against them. So can you win that shootout game from a Washington perspective? That's going to be the question.
Hey, Fuad is hilarious. He said, "Don't overthink this, guys. Take the Philly overs." Funny enough, it like a Philly parlay could be in play this week, just off the strength. Of course, I gotta put a couple guarantees in there for Washington.
I got Jalen Hurts starting in my playoff fantasy game this week, so
he probably gets you a couple TD throws.
I think
probably
so.
Get you a couple of them.
And a run, maybe a tush push.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert probably gonna go off. Probably get a couple tush pushes just off the nostalgia effect. All right, hey, let's get into our over-unders and see where we are with our prediction. I feel like we ain't done predictions and over-unders in a minute, bro. Golly.
Man, we've been talking about turmoil too much.
We have. Underdog should have this up because the game is on Saturday and we announced our starter at quarterback. Yes. All right, we got the numbers. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go with we got 6 players. We'll do 6 players. Saquon Barkley, higher or lower on his rushing yards? It is at 77.5. Higher. That boy, they've been trying to get him going for like the last 4 weeks. I've been paying attention to that.
Just to get right.
Yeah, and that Chargers game was it. And he just took over in that Raiders game too. So it's just going to continue. I think he probably get him a little spicy 90 plus. So like I'm gonna go higher as well. AJ Brown, 66.5 receiving yards. Oh, Monty, my bad. You said lower on Saquon Barkley. That's bold. AJ Brown, 66.5 receiving yards. Higher or lower?
I'm gonna say higher. I think they're gonna make an effort to give him the ball, get the ball to him.
Higher. I'm with you. Let's go Dallas Goedert. 39.5 receiving yards. Higher or lower?
Lower. I don't know why I'm saying lower. I'm just gonna say lower because I said higher the last 2 times.
I think this is a Goddard game too. So I'm gonna go higher. Monty said higher on AJ Brown. I think he said much higher. Yeah, on AJ Brown. He really likes AJ Brown. All right. Terry McLaurin, 57.5 receiving yards. That's a peculiar 57.5 going up against Quinyon and that white boy.
Cooper. I'm gonna say lower. I'm gonna
go higher. C-Rod, 43.5 rushing yards. Higher or lower?
Lower, because I think Bill may steal some of those carries because of his game last week.
Monty said over for Terry. All right, you're gonna like this one, bro. I think the chat gonna like this one too. Ben Sinnott, 8.5 receiving yards. Higher or lower?
Damn, I'm surprised they even had that up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go higher because I feel like he earned him at least a couple of targets this week after his big rep last week. Matter of fact, I hope that's actually available. I might actually bet on that this week.
Yes, it's well, you know where to find this one on Underdog. It's at 8.5 receiving yards.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow at work on a Friday in DC.
Monty said under. He said hell no.
Man, can't get 8 yards.
Dang, that is a little crazy, huh?
Man.
Well, what is Bates at? Just off the strength of figuring that one out. Where is Bates at? Let me go to receiving. See if they got Bates for something. Just out of curiosity. Oh, they got him at 11.5.
Wow.
Okay, so they got him at 11.5. And yeah. So let's do this. Let's revise it. I know where we at with Ben Sinnott, but let's do tight ends total. 25.5 receiving yards. Higher or lower?
Over. Yeah, I go over. Ben Sinnott might get that alone.
Okay. Damn. 25.5. It's crazy how I'm so hesitant on this. I wouldn't hesitate if Zach Ertz was in the mix, but I'm gonna go lower, bro. I'm gonna go lower. Damn. Monty said over on that. Yeah. I'm gonna go lower on this. It's crazy because Cliff actually does like his tight end, so maybe I'm actually just sticking a foot in my mouth right now for no reason. All right. Those are our over and unders on our show. Let's go ahead and get into our predictions, Dre. What's the score? Who's the MVPs?
Score, I'm going to go 31-17 Eagles, and MVPs, I'm going to say, just because it'll be a win if they keep this anywhere close for Washington at this point. I don't expect a win. MVPs offensively, if they're going to have to keep this thing close, is going to be Mariota. On the defensive side of the football, I'm going to go with Sanders still. I think he puts together a string of good games this week.
Okay. So I'm going to go. I think they push 32. So I'm going to say 30-24. Philadelphia wins. I think there are going to be some people that shining offensively. I can see Terry having himself a good day. Debo is usually a Eagle killer, but he ain't got that Niner mob around him. But he used to kill the Eagles, bro. I would love to see him do something. Even though I don't expect much from Debo at all after the first couple of weeks. Matter of fact, I remember I was keeping track of his numbers. If y'all remember, the first 5-6 games of the season, after that first game where he had 80 something yards from scrimmage, it just continually dropped every single week. It went down, as opposed to even staying consistent or even going up. So all that to say, I don't expect Debo back next year. And if they do that, AJ wants him back, fire AP. 30-24, MVP for the winning team is probably going to go to Jalen Hurts, unfortunately. And defensively, who knows? Maybe Quinyon, bro, or maybe Brandon Graham. That old head, he had 2 sacks last week. That offensive line ain't as good as ours, but somebody's gonna get some pressure with those guys. So I'll go with the old head, the 38U or 37U MVP, Hall of Famer, Brandon Graham. But yeah, 30-24, Philadelphia wins. Monty said we winning and Terry's the MVP. He says he's using the rest of the delusion that he does have. I respect it, bro.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, man.
And you ain't give us a score, Monty. You predicted a win, but you ain't give us a score.
Yeah, I don't think he thought it out that far. He just said we gonna win. All right. Hey, post-game recap Saturday. Next week is Christmas, so we're gonna have to figure something out terms of our schedule. I think we can stick with the Tuesday.
Yeah.
But wait, it's Christmas. Yeah, Christmas is gonna be on Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we can stick with. Yeah, matter of fact, now that I think about it, yeah, we can do post game Saturday too. All right, I'm just trying to think about logistics. So yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll do post game as well as Saturday. And then we'll see everything from there. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of y'all. He said 35-30. Man, just get the okay. 35-30. Enjoy the game tonight. This should be a good one. 2 top teams in the NFC, bro. So
yep,
we'll figure it out. Dre, take it easy. We'll see each other Saturday after the game, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Damn, set, watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive, this is Trap or Dive.